Hey book rookies, I'm Karen and today we're going to do a haul video. So about a week ago I went to a library sale. I go to this sale every month. I'm technically a member of the library sale, so what that means is I paid $10 last summer and I get 2 free books a month, and the rest of the books are 50 cents for paperback and $2 for hardcover. So I was able to get 12 books for $5, which I would say is pretty damn good. So anyway, let's get started. I split these two sections into rookie books and apprentice books. No master books for today. So we're just going to talk about the first two tiers of difficulty levels. So the first book I want to talk about is The House at Tyneford by Natasha. So this book was actually recommended to me by one of the volunteers at the library sale, and I will never turn down a recommendation from anybody, pretty much. So this is a historical fiction book about Vienna and England right before World War II. The main character is 19-year-old Elise Landau, who has to leave her lavish lifestyle in Vienna because she's Jewish, and is forced to move to Tyneford, where she works as a servant for an English family. So the book is about her experience there and her relationship with Master of Tyneford's young son, Kit. And from what I understand, an affair blooms between the two of them. So it sounds pretty interesting. The way that I was able to group these books was by reading the first page or so. So I read the language here, and it's definitely a rookie book, although I was on the edge. Whether it was rookie or apprentice, it does have very flowery language, but I think that it's a pretty easy book to get through. The next book is Saturday by Ian McEwan. This book actually reminds me a lot of Mrs. Dalloway. It's about a man on a particular Saturday. The entire book occurs on one day, about Henry Perone, who starts his Saturday very well. You know, he gets up and all he wants to do is play squash and have a relaxing day, but life happens and it all goes downhill from there. So I am really interested in this book, especially because the language is entirely in present tense, which I don't think I've seen or experienced before. When I say it's present tense, the book is occurring as you read it, which I think is really interesting, especially for a story that occurs probably almost stream of consciousness on the day. So we'll see how this one goes. The next book is The Silkworm by Robert Galbraith. I've never known how to pronounce that. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. We all know who this really is. This is the author of The Cuckoo's Calling, and it's another Cormoran Strike novel. So this is a mystery book that is, it's a standalone from The Cuckoo's Calling, as I understand it. I have The Cuckoo's Calling, haven't read it yet, interested to get into it. I read the first page of this, and I can already tell if you do not like, what's the word? Creative language. This might not be the book for you. Also, what I understand about the series is that it tends to get very violent in extremely uncomfortable ways. So this particular book is about a novelist who goes missing, and his wife essentially asks Cormoran Strike to find him. He's found brutally murdered, and the story goes on from there. So the reason I said that this was a rookie book is because it is in that style of the mystery novel. Like, it's very easy to read and probably goes by very quickly. I'll have to get to this series and let you guys know if I guessed correctly about that. For all of these books, this is based off of one page of reading, so I won't really know how easy or difficult the book is until I read the entire book. So I will let you know. The next book was a steal. I got this book. This was one of my free books. This is The Assassination of Margaret Thatcher by Hilary Mantel. And I got a signed copy for free. Check it out. Look at that signature. It's so pretty. Like, I want to learn how to sign in this way. But anyway, this book is a book of short stories by Hilary Mantel, who Sophie Carlin has spoken wonders of. I'll link her channel below. But this book, the main reason I said that this is a rookie book is because the pages, like the font is so large, and that's not to say that it's easy to read. What I did read of it was pretty easy to read, but it's quite sizable writing. So this is one of those things that will go on my shelf and I will be very proud of, especially because I got it for free. So the next book, this is a collection of 4 great plays by, and I'm sorry if I butcher this name, Henrik Ibsen. He's a Norwegian playwright from the late Victorian era, and this guy's pretty famous, but I don't know anything about him. So I love this because it talks a little bit about his life, and before the plays start, it talks a little bit about his life and a little bit about the era that he was writing these plays in. So the 4 great plays: A Doll's House, The Wild Duck, Hedda Gabler, and The Master Builder. So apparently Henrik was a little bit of a scandalous man. A lot of his plays were not exactly up to the standards of Queen Elizabeth's prim and proper moral code. So it makes fun of, from what I understand, it's kind of like a satire of the middle class in late Victorian era. So I always love when, anarchy. I usually don't, Victorian era writing is not always my favorite, but this sounds scandalous, and I do love me some scandal. The next book that I got is 13 Reasons Why, a novel by J. Asher. This is a YA novel, and it's actually it's being turned into a TV series. So this book is basically about Clay Jensen, who is the main character, and Hannah Baker, who was his crush, who has gone missing and is assumed dead. Clay discovers some tapes with Hannah's voice on it, basically explaining how how Hannah, in Hannah's voice, how Hannah, what led to her death, and how Clay and the people around him led to her death. The last book that I picked up that is a rookie book is Crescent by Diana Abu-Jaber. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'm just killing it with the names today. So when I first picked up this book, it was a cover buy. I really picked it up because I like the cover. When I read it, I'm sorry, the lighting is not the best, especially on a white book. Yeah, this was a cover buy, and then when I read the synopsis, it sounded like a romance, and you guys know how I feel about romances. But the more I read into it, the more interesting it sounds. So it's about this woman who works in she lives in Los Angeles. She lives in an Arab American community, and she works in a Lebanese restaurant. So you've got this kind of combination of romance and food, which is very interesting. This is going to be what I consider historical fiction because this book was written in 2003, which was only 2 years after 9/11. In America, based in America, and I think that this book is more than meets the eye. I don't think it's as simple as just a romance, and the first page that I read was beautiful. So I'm very excited to get to this book, despite my original thoughts on it. So that's it for the rookie books. I've decided to split this into 2 parts. So I will see you guys tomorrow to talk about the Apprentice books. Be sure to subscribe below, and I will see you then. Bye!